Hey, hi, how's it going? I'm Kenneth, and today we're going to talk about Quest for the Antidote. Quest for the Antidote is a board game for 2 to 6 players. It took about 15 minutes to set up. Wow, what happened? 15 minutes to set up, and it takes about an hour to play depending how many people you have. You start the game at an apothecary where you find out that you are poisoned along with everyone else with you.
Guess it's poison. Just take one of these and you'll be good in 10 to 15 turns.
Put some water in my hair. The objective is to find all the ingredients that'll create your antidote before you die. When you start the game, each player gets a stack of 10 ingredient cards. They shuffle them, and then they draw 4, and those are the 4 that you're searching for on your quest. In Quest for the Antidote, there is a system called breaths. Each player gets 2 markers to show where they are on the map at all times, and how many breaths they have. You start the game with this many breaths. If you run out of breath, your body just stays there. If you're playing with a bunch of people, if they come across your body, they can loot your body for the ingredients that you have left on you. Hat off again. There are a ton of pieces in this game. First of all, there's a giant board, which is huge, and it's so detailed. There's this really ugly art that I just love, and on every side of the board there are the different ingredients, such as dust of pit, feather of eagle, flower of fields, paw of bear, tooth of beaver, grass of meadows, snow of mountains, bone of graveyard. So there's that. If one player happens to come across another player, they can battle it out and try to steal ingredients that they might also need. This game is pretty sweet. It's full of lots of twists and lots of turns, and there's so many small things that can happen throughout your playthrough. There are meddling cards that give you powers. For example, during my first playthrough, I had a card called The Doctor Is Out, and there's an awesome little description on there, but basically what it meant was whoever I used it on, if they got all their ingredients and they made it back to the apothecary and I played that card, they had to leave the apothecary and fight one more monster before going back to complete the game. There are also great treasures in each of the corners of the map, and these can be game changers. For example, there's a Pegasus that lets you fly to any point on the map just one time. And then there are monsters. There are multiple spots where monsters spawn. They're basically placed at each of the junction points and important parts, like right before you get an ingredient. The monsters are randomized, so you never know what you come across when you flip a card over. And once you come across one, you have to beat it before you can pass it. And just because you beat one doesn't mean you're in the clear. If you go past that part again, you've got to fight another monster. There are tons and tons of different monsters, familiar ones and weird different ones. To beat monsters, all you have to do is roll an attack dice, a d10, higher than its health, indicated in the corner. Depending on the power level of the monster, you might even get a reward for beating it, such as getting more breaths back. This game is dope. I really enjoyed Quest for the Antidote. I only played 2-player games, but I'm really excited to try it with more people. Some people might not enjoy this game as much because it's really kind of just go here, go there, go here, go there. But in my opinion, all the stuff that happens in between is what's fun. I also just generally really liked the art. I think it's hideous, like in a really good way. A hideous that reminds me of old original D&D art. Like, it's just a little bit ugly, but I love it. In a way, it's almost grotesque, the kinds of details they have, like this lumpy troll. Pros, this game is awesome. Lots and lots of fun times. Lots and lots of cool but hideous art. Pretty quick to set it up, depending on how many people are playing. Cons, lots of chance-based scenarios because there's so much dice rolling. You could waste 9 breaths on one monster just because you're only rolling the dice. I got sad when I lost. So overall, my final thoughts on Quest for the Antidote, this game is awesome. It's like taking a single quest from an RPG and putting it down on a table and seeing where you go. It's 50 bucks. That's a lot of money, but I think in its own very simple kind of way, it's a lot like D&D. Once you buy it once, you can have a ton of different adventures with it. You can play it over and over again, and it's always gonna be different. This game comes with tons of stuff. 50 monster cards, 18 meddling cards, 10 loot cards, 8 drop cards, 60 ingredient cards, 50 monster cards, a D10, a D6, giant board. It's just a lot of stuff for 50 bucks. The game is not complicated, but it's got just enough cool details that make you have to read every card and really think about which path is going to get you to where you're going that'll waste the least amount of breaths. My final rating for Quest for the Antidote, 2 thumbs up, all the way up.